Salutations viewers, my name is Game Name and welcome back to my Legends of Runeterra patch notes review. So we are now on, as of January 4th, 2022, patch 3.0.0, and looks like we got our handsome man Pantheon on the front. He's one of my favorite characters to play, favorite champs, I should say, especially since his rework. He has been a lot more viable and I loved him. Or love him, I should say. But with patch 3.0.0, it seems we have a lot of card updates. So let's get to it. We're kicking off the year with a large set of card updates. In addition to our usual meta-analysis and surveys, we also experimented with opening up direct lines of community feedback on social media, as well as community channels to help shape this patch. So we'd like to offer special thanks to everyone who contributed their thoughts and feedback, some notes on priorities for this update. Number of dominant decks are being hit, including Poppy-centric decks, as well as Sejuani, Gangplank, and Scion Draven. So they're improving the meta and region diversity, especially targeting Freljord with a number of unusability buffs. So let's take a look at some more of the champion updates, because they did nerf Gangplank and Poppy last patch. Looks like Scion is base stats at level 1 are 3/6, or were 3/6, and now they're 1/6. So that's kind of a huge nerf to Scion. It makes him a lot less viable, and I mean, like they said, they are hitting these kind of decks pretty fucking hard. But when you hit his level 2, his base stats for 10/6, and now they're 8/6. So his level 2 is a lot more viable than his level 1, obviously. But it's just getting there that that can be a little cumbersome, because it's a discard for him to actually level up. But his return form is his level 2 base stats return form -2 health. Well, -2 attack, -2 health in general, because he went from an 8/6 level 2 to now an 8/4. That's what I mean when I say -2 health for his return form. But now he still has the rally, so Sion's still strong, but I think his early game is a lot weaker than like when you first lay down his level 1 in comparison to his level 2 and his return form. Now we have Ashe. So her level up requirement was you frostbitten 5+ enemies, and then she got a buff and you frostbitten 4+ enemies. So that makes her a little bit more viable. And then nothing has changed in her level 2. For Trundle, his stats went up just a point in his health. So he was a 4/5, now he's a 4/6 in his level 1. For his level 2, he was a 5/6, now he's a 5/7. So like they said, they're trying to bring Freljord back into the mix, because obviously it has not been really touched upon that much. With Anivia, she's got a buff in both instances. So her base stat for level 1 was 2/4, and now it's 3/5. So that's a +1/+1 for each. And her level 2 was 3/5, now it's 4/6, which is pretty awesome. Kindred, her base stats were 5 cost for 4, and now it's a 4 cost for 3, which I think is still pretty good. I think this is kind of a buff in a sense, rather than a slight nerf, with her with the health being 1 less than what it was, because the cost went down a notch too, and it's a little change. So her base stats for her level 2 was 5 cost 5/5, now it's 4 cost 5/4. I think this is a great change to Kindred. I think this will make people put her in decks a lot more. I like this change with Kindred. Maokai, his change was in his description. So effect triggers on playing another ally, and it's now effect triggers on summoning another ally, and nothing for his level 2. Darius, his base stats were 6/5, and now they got buffed to 6/6, and his level 2 was 10/5, now is 10/7. So we're going to be seeing a lot more Darius back into the decks, which I'm not happy about, because when I first started playing this game, I hated going against Darius. He was absolutely disgusting to go against, and I hated it. It's totally fine though. We're fine. For Diana, for her level 1, we have the description change. So Nightfall, give me Challenger this round. So now it's changed to Nightfall, or when you activate another Nightfall, give me Challenger this round. I think that's a buff. Yeah, because it is a buff, because it's adding an additional element. So she doesn't just need 1 Nightfall to get her onto the board, or you know what I mean. It is a buff. It is a buff. Nothing changed for her level 2. Xerath's base stats for 3-3 to 3-4. That's a slight buff. And his level 2 is 4-4 to 4-5. We'll be seeing a little bit more Xerath. And then his level 3, they changed his level 3 ability. Now triggers on destroying a landmark and targets enemy units before targeting the Nexus. So that's pretty good. I mean, I haven't played against Xerath that much, so I'm not exactly sure if this is a buff or a nerf. But, you know, you guys can tell me in the comments down below. Now we got follower spells and landmarks. The description was changed for Bandle City Mare. So your multi-region unit costs 1 less, and now it's the first multi-region unit you play each round costs 1 less. They're getting a little bit better here with the descriptions. I don't think it's too bad, but at the same time, it can be a little confusing at first, but I do think this is a slight buff. So this is nice. We got Curious Shellfolk is getting nerfed. So 4-6 to 4-4. That's a slight nerf. Lecturing Yordle. When I'm summoned or attack, create a fleeting poison dart in hand. It is now attack. Create a fleeting poison dart in hand. So this is a slight nerf. Because it's only on attack now. It's no longer when he's summoned or attack. So it's not 2 instances, it's 1 instance. Monster Harpoon, it used to be deal 5 to a unit. Plunder 1 I cost 3 less. And then now it's deal 5 to a unit. Plunder I cost 2 less. So this is a slight nerf. Because instead of costing 3 less, you are now costing 2 less. So it's not that much of a difference, but it is still a slight nerf. In It That Stares. So the description used to be play, obliterate all landmarks or deal 2 to all other units. Now it's play, obliterate all landmarks or deal 3 to all other units. So this is a slight buff. Instead of just dealing 2 damage to all other units, if you get that option, you can now deal 3 to all other units. Voices of the Old Ones. Now, the description is a little long. Give me 1 second. But gain 2 empty mana gems. For the top 4 cards in your deck, draw each card that costs 8+, then place the rest into your deck. So that was the previous description. Now, it is gain 2 empty mana gems. For the top 5 cards in your deck, draw each card that costs 8+, then place the rest into your deck. So this is a slight buff, only in the instance that it's now drawing 5 instead of 4. And hopefully you're able to have that 1 extra chance to grab something that you really, really need. So, Iceborn Legacy, this one got buffed, so it's no longer slow, but it's a burst, and I love that for this card, especially the cost that it has, so this is a buff to it. Rhymetusk Shaman, base stats were 3-3, now it's 3-4, buff in the health, so +1. Poro Herder, when I'm summoned, draw a Poro if you have a Poro ally. Now it's when I'm summoned, if you behold a Poro, draw a Poro. Slight change, not too much of a difference. Chump Wump, 4-3 to 4-4, slight buff in the health department, so +1. Ruined Rex was a 3-3, now it's a 4-4, so it's a 5 mana cost 4-4, which is a buff. And the change was effect can now trigger up to 6 times increase from 5. So that's pretty good. So we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Ruined Rex here. We do have Coral Creatures, which got a buff in the health portion, which is now a +1, so it was a 1-2, now it's a 1-3. Ascendance Rise got a buff by costing less from 7 to 6. Karina Veraza, her base stats were 6-6, now they're 8-8, so she's no longer a 9 mana 6-6, she's a 9 mana 8-8, which makes her a lot more viable, so this is a buff. Back Alley Barkeep was 3-2, now it's 3-3, so +1 in health, and his changes can now create cards outside of your deck's region. This is a buff to this card. We're going to be seeing a little bit more of this card for sure. Buried Sun Disc, start of the game, draw 1 of me and all of your cards are Shuriman, and then now it's changed to start of the game, summon 1 of me if all your cards are Shuriman. So that's draw. Instead of draw, it's summon. So that is just an ever so slight buff. It's not just drawing, you're summoning that card right off the bat there. So it's a slight buff. Vengeance cost got buffed, as in the cost depleted, so it's from 7 to 6 now. Golden Crush Bot, subtype none. Now it's subtype tech, so which makes sense because it is a tech card, so I'm glad they made that change. And then Hidden Pathways used to cost 5 and now it costs 6, so that's a slight nerf to the cost of it, so make sure you guys play around this a little bit more. So personalization. All right, let me get out of this really quick so we can see champion skins. We have Worldbreaker Trundle and Ice Pillar. Very nice. I like it. I really love the art that they have more for Legends of Runeterra than for actually the art they have in League of Legends. Now we have Worldbreaker Elise and Spiderling. I don't know why it's actually not letting me click the other two, but this is the first one. I really like the way she looks right here. Really, really cute. But it's not letting me press these two. Wonder if I can't even. Can I open image in new tab? Yeah, here we go. Open image in new tab. Big old speed ray. Big old spider. Big old spider. My favorite is the fact that you can still see Elise in this one. Oh, no, it's not Elise. That's Karma. Never mind. I made a mistake. That's Karma right there. And then we have Worldbreaker Scion. Scion always looking cool as hell. He looks like a, what's it called? Attack on Titan. Giant guy. I'm forgetting the name. It's slipping my mind. But he looks awesome. I like this design they have for him. And then, of course, Worldbreaker Nasus. I always thought his name was Nasus. And then for a while I called him Susan because I still do call him Susan because backwards Nasus is Susan. So here's Susan in all his glory. They make him look a lot better in this art than they do in the other ones. So we have Worldbreaker Malphite. His head is still always just a little bit too small. I feel like they should have made his head just ever so slightly bigger, to be quite honest. And then we have Worldbreaker Maokai and Sapling. Maokai looks cute in this one as Worldbreaker. I like this. It makes him look very mystical. I really, really like it. Oh, the little Sapling's so cute. And then we have Worldbreaker Nautilus. So his skin, I feel like, could have been worked upon just a smidge more. It doesn't look too bad. It looks a little bit better when it's underground, but it's okay. It's not my favorite. So now we have the boards, and we have Temple of the Sun. And that's kind of the theme that has been going on here, Temple of the Sun. So we got Guardians, Worldbreaker Chip, and then we got a card backs of Nautilus, of Trundle. And then, of course, the bundle is the Age of Worldbreakers bundle. It's in store, and it includes prorated for any items you already own, obviously, but it does not say the cost. But it has Trundle skin, Scion skin, Nasus skin, Nautilus skin, Malphite skin, Elise skin, Maokai skin, and champion cards for all the above champions. And then you have the Mechas and Menaces deck bundle available in store. Of course, prorated for any items you already own, but I'm surprised they didn't add the cost in for either of these things. They usually do. And of course, the baddest Mecha Yordle for the World Domination bundle includes a deck featuring Scion and Rumble. And then we have our bug fixes right here. So I would say this is a pretty fun patch, especially with, you know, all of these champions being changed, bringing back Freljord into the mix, and nerfing the Poppy-centric and Sejuani Gangplank and Scion Draven deck. So I think this is really good. This balances the meta a lot more, and I am excited to see what this patch will bring when we get down to the nitty-gritty and all play together. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this patch, because I think it's relatively great. It's very balanced. It balances, which Riot is not really known for. It doesn't really balance all that well. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I highly appreciate your time as always. But please do not forget to subscribe and or follow, not only to my YouTube, but to my Twitch. You guys know where my YouTube is at. You can find my Twitch at twitch.tv/thegamedame. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.